Hello, Dino here, and welcome to another series of the Limitless Hair Expert. Today's subject is how to evaluate the best hair when adding hair. Now, here's what you have to know. A lot of people think certain types of hair is the best, Brazilian hair or this kind of hair, because there's different origins or nationalities out there. And this is what you have to understand. There's different nationalities of hair out into the industry, like Brazilian hair and European hair and Indian hair, all right? They all work. One is not necessarily better than the other. Here's what it really breaks down to, and that is, in most cases, they remove what's called the cuticle layer. Now, I want you to understand what the cuticle layer is. The hair shaft itself has an outer layer called the cuticle layer. It looks like scales on a fish. The outer layer is the armored shield that protects the hair. But when they collect human hair for adding hair, for anything, for hair replacement, for hair weaves, for hair extensions, they gather the hair, mixing up the end on the bottom versus the root. When you mix up the end and the root, if the cuticle is still on that outer layer that looks and feels like scales on a fish, the scales intermingle with each other and lock, therefore causing tangling. So in most cases, when people get hair that tangle, they think it's tangling because the hair is bad, or because it's Indian hair, or because it's a certain origin of hair, but that's not true. The reason why the hair tangles in most cases is because all of the cuticle has not been removed. Because to make the hair silky, what has to be done, they have to actually remove the scales, the cuticle layer from the hair. And in most cases, when they're doing that, it tricks them, because as the cuticle is being removed, it melts down. And what happens is that there's still a little cuticle left that later on pops up. But if that cuticle is fully removed, the hair will stay very silky and slippery and never knot. So that's what causes hair to knot. It's not the hair origin or that it's bad hair in most cases. If the hair is bad and over-processed, it'll become gummy, almost like a piece of gum, almost like falling apart. That's what causes hair to feel and look like when it's over-processed. But when it's tangled, in most cases, it's because the cuticle layer is still on the hair. So the key is to remove the cuticle layer. Now, I want to add something to that. There's also called Remy hair. Remy hair means human hair with the cuticle still on. It means gathering the hair and labeling it that this is the root and this is the end. And if you leave the cuticle on, then the cuticle is going in the same direction, just like the hair that grows out of your head. And therefore, you don't have to worry about the hair knotting. But, I'm sorry to say there is a but. In most cases, the hair that's called Remy hair is not. There's no way of finding out any hair that you get is really Remy hair unless you looked under a microscope under every individual hair, 360 degrees around the whole shaft, which is quite impossible. So in most cases, Remy hair is not Remy hair, and you just don't know it. What you really should look for is hair that's silky, that's easy to brush, that's easy to manage. It doesn't matter if it has the cuticle or it doesn't have the cuticle. What matters is that the hair is pliable, that you can brush through it, that it doesn't tangle, that it's silky, that it's easy to handle, all right? That's all you care about. It doesn't matter if they achieve that by leaving the cuticle on or if they achieve that by removing the cuticle. Either way, you just want good hair. So please remember that in reference to whenever you're having hair added. Feel the hair. Make sure it's silky, that the brush goes through it, that your hand goes through it, all right? That's all that really matters. Because Remy hair is great, but you never know really if it's Remy or if it's all Remy. And I've studied hair all over the world, and what I found out that the best Remy hair is still only about 92% still having the cuticle, 8% still not having the cuticle or having the cuticle in the opposite direction, all right? So it's very hard to get pure Remy hair, and you'll never know it. So again, just to summarize, just make sure the hair is very silky, that your brush and hand goes through it very easy. That's all you really care about. So the quote for today is, the words you think and say becomes who you are. So I want you to understand that actually you're always thinking and you're always saying stuff. So be careful of the words you think and the words you say, because you become that person. So today you are the person of what you became from what you thought in the past. Okay? So watch the words you think and watch the words you say, because that's who you become. So think about that. So stay tuned for our next video called How to Create a Perfectly Natural Hairline. See you soon.